Korea just impeached its second president. So it's not that Korea has two presidents, no, it's just the second president to be impeached was impeached a few hours ago. So this, I think, is generally what's happening in the world these days, right? Lots of political turmoil. And the thing is, even though in case you're missing some of the context, the impeachment primarily happened due to a failed martial law. So the president, for very little justified reason, according to the courts and based on my personal opinion, called martial law, saying that North Korea has agents inside of us, which is really kind of a which always has the potential to be true, which is why it's such an attractive tactic. But anyway, called the martial law, attempted to kidnap some of the opposing political party and tried to do that, but then it failed, and then pretty soon the president was impeached, and basically the verdict it went to the constitutional court, and we have a second impeachment in our history. But if we really think about it, what really surprised me out of this whole ordeal is that I really thought after the first one was also kind of ridiculous too, because the first president to be impeached was, turns out she was a puppet. She was an agent of a cult leader who wasn't an elected official. And so I thought, wow, that's a truly ridiculous situation for a country to be in. And surely something like this would not happen in the future. But guess what? It does, right? But the thing is, at every step of the way, when we elect this person, when we have a new election, when we bring up the candidates and things like that, at the time it seems like we are making rational choices. At the time, this person seems like a good candidate for president. At the time, this person seems like a good person to vote to. And then they become a president, and then something happens, and then, whoa, I don't know, I feel I'm having second thoughts about my vote and things like that, right? But although in the long run, as we look at the trajectory of things, our opinions on politics might change. But what's important is, at every moment, it feels like we are making a rational, nice, right kind of a choice. But when reality presents itself like this, we can't help but wonder, are our rational choices, seemingly rational choices, are they actually that rational? And the primary thoughts about what we think is good for society, when it actually comes true, is it actually good for us? I think those are really some topics that are worth talking about and thinking about, right? But I think more importantly, do we really need the person that we support to be the president for us to be happy? I think true happiness doesn't depend on anything. Therefore, I think true happiness doesn't really depend on who the president is. So, I think, politics aside, you and I can have different political ideas about things, but I want to be a happy person when I am talking to you. That's my goal, right? Even if you hate Asians, even if you hate Koreans, I think I can find common ground with you because, yeah, I agree, Koreans can be pretty annoying, right? And so, if you hate immigrants, I think I can find common ground with you because I can totally see that perspective. Because I also feel very out of place when I go to certain places in certain parts of the world. So, I can see your point of view, and I would like to have that openness so that even when you are hostile to me, the thing is, I don't want to be hostile to you. You can do whatever you want with your life, but the thing is, I want to do what I want. I want to do what I want to do with my life, which is, I don't want to be hostile with you. I want to have an open discussion with you, and I just, instead of trying to change your mind, I want to understand you better. And those are the things I think that are worth thinking about in times of political turmoil. A friend of mine messaged me recently about, a lot of people do all these a lot of powerful politicians do all these crazy things, but then nobody bats an eye. But I also offered that there's a lot of people who are currently and in the past, they have been always doing a lot of good work under the shadows, and nobody bats an eye on them. So whatever we find on one extreme, we can always find on the other side of the extreme as well. So I think it's very important to understand, especially in times of political turmoil and when we feel hopeless. I think it's very important to recognize that, hey, it is just another day, but the more we sway into immediately reacting to our feelings at the moment, the more we are likely to make short-sighted decisions. So, is are our decisions actually good for us? Can I be happy regardless of who the president is? Can I be happy with another person regardless of their political views? I think those are the things that are really worth thinking about during these contemporary times.